Sithokozani nonke. Greeting you all in the mighty name of God. Ngiyanibingelela nonke kumagumbi amanomhlaba kuyalilumelisa ababohle. Okay, nikhuluma nomkhululangabi nomthunzi wezwe nomama unkosazana umsunguli we-Flames of Christ. Right. I'm going to teach you about what happens after what happens after spiritual ascension. Okay, umama unkosazana ungumthandazeli. Ungumthandazeli, uyisanusi ngoba ubonisa izinto zonke umhlaba wonke ezingakenzeki. Une wisdom. Une teaching school, une bandla. Akulona ibhizinisi njalo lelo. Umama unkosazana is medically trained. Ubekade ephila impilo yokuphilisa before ezokwamukela ubizo lwakhe olwalunzima kakhulu ukuthi alwemukele. It was a difficult journey before you discover that you incur lots of problems. Umama unkosazana unobizo lwamazi. Kinalinewe yametsi. A very deep one, a deep and difficult one. Isipho esihle sokuthandaza, isipho esihle sokuphilisa abantu, isipho esihamba newisdom, nenhlakanipho yamaZulu, nenhlakanipho kaNkulunkulu ngaphakathi. All right, back to the topic. Wow, happy spring day. I got flowers. I love them. Okay. I'm going to teach about what happens after the ascension. Angithi first, before you discover who you are, things doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. Uyahlupheka, ufuthile, uphalazile, wabahamba abantu waqeda, wabahamba wazihamba inkonzo. You've been to different churches, nothing is coming right. At the end of the day, many a times you're a gifted person, but you don't know, especially mawunobizo lokuthandaza, it becomes very difficult because imithi ayisebenzi. Imithi ayisebenzi mawubizelwe ukuthandaza. Ikhona esebenzayo but kaningi imithi ayisebenzi mawubizelwe ubizo lokuthandaza. Ubizo phecelezi olucishe lifana nolikaJesu. Ngoba uzophilisa abantu, uzosindisa abantu emhlabeni, you need to do that altruistically, right? You've discovered that you've saved the net, uhambile, you've discovered that, okay, I've got a gift, and then you go through spiritual awakenings, you go through isolation, you go through hatred, people uyabasinda abantu bayakuzonda, you develop a defensive mechanism. Abakwenzi njengomuntu uyagula, nobody takes care of you, nobody takes notice of you, unless if you're lucky to get supportive people. Many a times you do not even get supportive people, especially when you are gifted. Sikhona isigulo sikamoya. There are spiritual sicknesses whereby you get healed and you heal, but when you've got a gift, you are not going to heal. Ezinye izinto zizovuleka, but you need to carry on and on and on until you discover what's your purpose. Kukhona ababizelwe ubungoma, kukhona ababizelwe evangelism, kukhona ababizelwe ubuprofita, kukhona ababizelwe ubugedla, kukhona ababizelwe ubuthakathi. Angithi after the ascension, after the spiritual awakening, after all the problems that you incurred, then you discover your purpose on earth. Then before that you are put in isolation, you get exposed to any type of pain that you can think of, because if there is no pain in what you're doing, you are not doing things right. Ngiyaphinda, makungena inhlungu kulolu hambo lwakho, it shows you are not doing things right. The bigger the pain, the bigger the gift, the bigger the blessings. The bigger the blessings after that. Angithi, yeah, kumele niqine nibe nesibindi God is taking people back to nature. God is taking people to how things were. That's why sekune question ehlekisayo. Kanti nawe uyathwasa, liwe nawe wathwasa. Kanti nawe wenza lezi zinto zabadimoni. No, akukho demoni. Little knowledge is dangerous. Little knowledge is dangerous. Ukuqala kokuhlakanipha ikumesaba uJehova. Why? After the ascension, emva kokukhushulwa kwakho, angithi you've discovered who you are. Emva kokudiscover ukuthi ubani, emva kweinhlungu zonke. Point number 1. You become stronger as a healer. You become stronger as a healer. Uba ngumelaphi onamandla ngendlela esimanga. I'm talking from experience here. I'm not going to talk on behalf of anybody. Uba umelaphi onamandla ngendlela esimanga, uyaqala ukuboniswa imibono, uyaqala ukuboniswa ama results omsebenzi wakho. You become very strong as a healer. You become empathetic, telepathic, everyone ethic. Right? Everything ethic. Because why? You've been cooked. You've been reprimanded. You've listened. Awusayi eniniva. Wenza izinto straight, wenza izinto ngendlela. Because you are now able to communicate with God. I'm now able to communicate with God direct. Ongaziwa guys. Okay. You are going to take what resonates with you. Take what resonates with you, because people are suffering because of the gift. I'm sharing so that you will get relieved from your suffering, right? And then you also get a relief. You also get a relief. I've discovered who you are. Who am I? I've discovered my purpose on earth. And you see your purpose, and your purpose is working. You've discovered your purpose, and your purpose is working. Usutholile ukuthi ubukade uphethwe yini. Abantu nabo sebeyabona ukuthi hawu kudala ethu uyagula lo mntwana. Sithi unamanga kwasho ingoma, sithi unamanga kanti hayi ugula ngempela manje sekungumelaphi manje wenza izimanga izinto ezisabekayo usiza abantu ngendlela eyisimanga. This is after ascension. This is after ukukhushulwa kwakho ngesimo sika moya. Angisho. Njalo nezembatho ziyashintsha. The higher you go, the higher God exalts you. Nezembatho ziyashintsha, even your robes, your gowns. I'm going to quote the Bible verses one day, but today asikho lapho ngizofundisa ke namhlanje. You develop a sense of relief, man, ukuthi oh Nkosi yami, out of all these things that happened to me, after all this confusion, after all this, you've discovered your purpose on earth. Everybody has got a purpose on earth. Kubuhlungu ukungabi ne purpose on earth because you develop a spiritual void oyivala ngezinto ezirong. Kubuhlungu gabi. So kumnandi, it's very, very beautiful to discover a purpose yakho on earth, because you become complete. You become complete. You invest on what you are called for. You heal people kube ne testimony. You heal people abantu belapheke. It's very, very beautiful, and you get that relief nje. Right. As my purpose on earth is healing. As a medically trained person, ngangiku healing professionally, ngaphinde futhi ngaba ku healing spiritually. I am not religious. Religion divides people. Spirituality holds people together. Spirituality does not judge anybody. We don't judge a person, because you will judge a person, yet it's spiritual things that are troubling the person. Tina, no. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Right? My purpose, I've got a gift of healing. I've got a gift of prophesying. I've got a gift of busanusi. I've got wisdom. I've got a gift of teaching. That's why I've got a healing school whereby people got healed. People that wanted to commit suicide. Indaba ingaphakathi. Ungaphila wenzeni kube mnandi, but indaba ingaphakathi. People are walking with void inside them. People think they are well, but people are sick. I discovered that eskolweni. Right. Now that you've discovered your purpose, point number 3, you stop dependency. You stop dependency. You stop fear yokuba wedwa, because there's lots of people that are scared to be alone. They end up getting wrong friends. They end up sleeping around because they think I'm settling. Yet it was the fear of being alone, trying to fill the void that void is not going to fill because you are failing to discover your purpose. This is when now I'm following, and systematically. You stop dependency. Mawedwa uzizwa ucomplete. Mawedwa uplana izinto zakho kahle. You get messages direct from God. You get everything. Uzizwa ucomplete. Gumnandi. Ayisekho inhlupheko le. There is no more suffering that you suffered before you accepted your gift. Gumnandi, because you get told ukuthi emhlabeni kuzokwenzeka u1 no2 no3 no4 no5. Thina banye, we already knew what was going to happen, and we already know what is going to happen on this earth around. We tell our people in church, we tell the people that are closer to us, because ngesinye isikhathi social media can make friends, can make you accumulate lots of friends, or can make you accumulate lots of enemies. Siyakwazi lokho thina asitsheli bantu amanga, sibizwe ngempela. You stop dependency, because first God removes everything that you cling on. You need to be alone. That's isolation. God isolates you to grow you, to groom you, to talk to you alone. Wena noNkulunkulu kanje, mina ngibizwe uNkulunkulu nethonga lami. So I will talk on my behalf. I will share my own personal experiences. Hey, everything that you cling on, it gets taken away, because you need to be alone. Because the gift is yours. The gift is yours anyway. You go through isolation. Before you understand it, you will be feeling pain. You will be this, you will be that. Yet God will remove people from you that will be disturbing you for that particular time. After the isolation, then you discover a lot about yourself. This is after ascension now. You stop dependence. Because you've been isolated. Now you know who you are. You stop clinging on people, because you end up clinging on wrong people, thinking we are right. You get cut off certain foods. Okay, let me go back to number 3. You stop dependency because God forces you to be isolation. That is why abantwana bomoya, especially ababizelwe lolu hlangothi lolukhulu kakhulu lokuthandaza, they complain about being hated by people. They complain about not fitting in. Then they try to fit in by doing things that their friends are doing. That's not on, because you're going to carry on doing things that are not you, instead of doing you and be happy. You understand? I used to make people uncomfortable. People used to say, hey, maumkhulu efika lapha, we get so uncomfortable. Angakasebenza abantu, but people are already complaining that I'm making them uncomfortable. I-energy yakho ne-energy yesoni ne-energy yomuntu onenhliziyo embi akuhlangani. it becomes water and oil. That is before. But mawusuzazi, I'll take on ama differences. If you already know what's going to happen is uzombuza uthi awundoda ngikwenzeni mawuthi ngikwenza uncomfortable, ngikwenzeni mawuthi uyangizonda, uzothola ukuthi ayikho into akuzondela yona naye akazi ukuthi why is he or she uncomfortable because of your presence, right? Sindlule kuleyo, you get cut off on certain foods, especially ama-fast foods. You stop going to the places that indawo ezazichaza before, it means nothing. Nabantu that you thought were your friends ababekuchaza before, uNkulunkulu uyakwambulela ukuthi it's either they were using you, one, or they wanted what they wanted from you, or thina siyaphilisa mawunami nje uyaphila uba protected. I've seen that happening. I said I'm going to use myself as a reference and a little bit of what I saw from other people. You get cut off certain foods, you get cut off certain abangani, and then you will discover that these people that I got cut off from, bebevele bengekho right from the beginning. Now God has channeled you. God has channeled you ukuthi look mntanami, this is the way. Uyaphila manje, uyaphilisa. Right? This is your purpose on earth. Mina personally, I was cut off sweet things. I was cut off red meat. I was cut off eggs. Those are the things. So those are the things that I swear, using them, those are the things that I loved so much in my life every day. That's why I suddenly lost weight. I was cut off all those foods that I used to like. But I guess maybe it's protection. God wants to keep me longer because my purpose is huge. My purpose is huge. I've healed so many people. Bayas, hey, bantwana bamalangabi awavute. Yeah. So remember, you are guided by your own guides and God. Even your mentor or healer must listen and respect your guides and God. Mentor yakho must listen umoya wakini, umoya wakho ophakamayo that time, because umoya yiwona osigayidayo ukuthi uwela kuphi, ebuthandazini kuphi kuphi. That is why lots of people bayathwasa ngaphandle kwesidingo. Kunabantu ababizelwe ukuthandaza, kunabantu ababizelwe ukuzostopa izinto ezimbi ezenzakalayo emhlabeni before zenzeka. Kodwa mayesehambe wayothwasa kuvaleka yonke into. Mayesengwene entwaseni okungafanelanga ukuthi angene kuyo, ukuvaleka a lot of things. Right? Point number 5. You start unlearning what you were taught as a child. You start unlearning what you were taught as a child. You start questioning. You are unlearning what you were taught as a child because it's not working. You've been on that from the age of 0 until you are 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. You've seen it did not work for you. You've seen, you are now starting to realize that it wasted your time, it brainwashed you, ifake nje inkungu ebusweni bakho, nothing came out of it. Then you start following your gift because it's working. You can see that I'm healing people bipolar. No matter whatever disease. You start to unlearn what you were taught and you start to be spiritually curious. Right? You stop conformity. You stop conformity. You stop to conform. You stop dependency, because now you are linking, your umbilical cord is linked to God. Ninje manje noNkulunkulu nethonga lakini. Angeke uhambe uye ethuneni elise Israeli elakini ungazange ulilungise. Angeke uyo breaka ama generational curses kwezinye indawo awakini ungakawalungisi. You are who they were. Therefore, cut their witchcraft. Jara sifapano sabona. Cut everything. Because uyimbewu yabo. As uyimbewu yabo, you need to cut everything. Le esemuva before uyaphambili. After the spiritual ascension, you are taught how to help people, how to cut all those things, how to cut generational cases on behalf of someone, on behalf of your patients, because you are already in another realm. You are already in another realm. You won't conform to anyone or anything. You are going to depend on the voice of God. When the voice of God tells you, then that's how you're going to help the person. Even your parents, akusekho advice ozoyithatha la uthi vuka wenza ukuthi nokuthi into engakusebenzeli. Yes, you're going to remain respecting your parents, but now uzelwe yibona ngokwe flesh, but spiritually you were already there. You just needed a passage to come out. That is why kuwena ozoba polisa. That is why kuwena ozokwenza into ezinkulu. Hayi ukuthi asihloniphi. Siyabahlonipha abazali bethu, but you are now above. Because you communicate with God and then you come and tell the world what you heard. You start to discover who you are fully. All those things that you were asked, all that curiosity, all those questions that you had, use Sunday school, suddenly they are answered. You discover who you are without a culture, without a religion. You start to connect with God direct because everyone is from God. Before ulethwa ku culture wena, before uzoba exposed, before you are told ukuthi you are Zulu, you are Xhosa, you are whoever, before you get exposed to culture, usuka umunye noNkulunkulu. I don't know if it will make sense. Before you are born, you are already spiritually there. You are a God's child. Then you come on earth. And then you become flesh. Then you start to experience ukuthi wena ungwakwasibanibani. This is your culture, this is what you do, this is what. This is what I'm trying to explain. Ukuthi before you adopt a religion, before you adopt or you get exposed to your culture, you are a spiritually being from God. Right? Because you get birthed spiritually before uba flesh. It's a topic for another day. Wozani eskoleni, join the spiritual school. You're going to know who you are. I'm going to broaden this knowledge. Hope you guys, you will understand and hope it will resonate with some of you. Because you go to the healer that you resonate with. Kunama grades, kunama standards, kunama levels. Number 6. There's internal healing. Because all that pain that you were exposed to, there were tests. There was witchcraft done on you. There was a gift that you were denying. There was a gift that you did not understand. Because there's a time where you get confused, you don't know who you are. Now you understand. Then there's internal healing. Then there's blessing after blessing. Guys, I'm blessed. You get blessing after blessing. Ubonga okuncane nokukhulu. Usabathe ubonga this. Kuyeza ukuze okuhle kulandelane because there comes a time where God is rewarding you. Ukuthi uNkulunkulu ke wakufake kuthwaseni. You've been ekuthwaseni akwenzekanga lutho. You've been uphalazile wenza yonke into akwenzekanga lutho. you bought amabhayi akwenzekanga lutho, uqala kanjalo, uqala ngaleyo confusion. Nibonile eBhayibhelini lapha oJona bethunywe eNiniva baqonde eTarshish kufike kuBheda. Angithi. So nomntwana kaMoya a gifted, our gifts are different as I mentioned from the beginning. This is after the ascension. Ama rewards. We are saying lapha, you are now starting to milk this cow. You are starting to milk this cow. You are starting to get this honey. It's beautiful. The gift is beautiful, but it starts as a curse because it's leaking knowledge. Because if awulandeli uthatha indlela wrong, you will swear it's a curse. Hey, but there's a stage. So it's milking. Because now God is healing you. God is now wiping the tears that you cried when you did not understand what's going on with you. When you did not know about yourself, you now suddenly healing. You are going to heal until you heal your own enemies. You are going to be sent to heal your enemies. God will say you are no longer the child that you were. You are now ascended. You now look beyond. You now have eyes that knows how to see beyond the human nature, beyond the human abuse, beyond isitha sakho, beyond umuntu oke wakwenzela witchcraft. Yonke into nje usuvela uhleke nje, ususe stage sokuthi you look and say, "Oh shame. I forgive you. You did not know what you were doing." Nami ngangazazi ukuthi ngubani. That's why our energies were not rubbing, were not corresponding, were not clinching. Then you humble man. It humbles you. A gift can humble you. A gift can humble you. Uze uthi tata enjeni. But anyway, a gift takes you back after the ascension. You go back to ubuntu bakho. You go back to how you were supposed to be. You go back to how you were born spiritually before usiba ku flesh, because uNkulunkulu usuke sekubonise all the secrets. Angithi ungathi mawumelaphi makuthiwa lapha isitha sakho uthi hey lo yana uke wangenza ukuthi no isuke ingasasebenzi kanjalo mawusukwenye ilevel. It doesn't work like that. You see people's problems uvela ubona ukuthi hawu kodwa Nkosi yami thethelela baba usuku leso stage. Hey, internal healing. Tremendous. Imagine from how you were being called names. Imagine from izigulo. Imagine from ukuya kusangoma to sangoma. Imagine from going church to church. Mausula, knowing who you are. Ungakusoli lokho, it was part of your initiation. It was part of intwaso yakho kamoya. Angithi kamoya yobuthandazi. There is internal healing yakhona man, it's out of this world. There is love. You flash love. You unokuthando, unuki forgiveness. You forgive so that God blesses you. Guys, accept your gift. Be right. Oh, you need this need to help everybody. You like helping. Because you no longer the person that you were before uhlupheka ufuna ukuzidiscover ukuthi ubani. Your mind and body connects. Because you know who you are now. You are a spiritual being. You are a spiritual being. You are an energy. A person is an energy. When you pray, you start to feel the presence of God. When you pray, you start seeing your angels. When you pray, you start feeling the hugs. This is after your ascension. Before the ascension, ziyabuya. Kodwa the rewards. Ama rewards wakhona. Yeah, I'm far more than how you suffered. Our vote are far more than how you suffered. Results and rewards. Wow. Akufani nokuthi awuzazi ukuthi ubani, what's your purpose on earth. You don't know, uphilela amachwala, uphilela amadisco namachwala, yet you've got a purpose on earth. When you meet me, I will help you to discover your purpose. Uphume einkingeni. Awavuthi. Mina ngisebenza ngomlilo, umlilo wami uvutha emanzini. My fire burns even in the water. You can't dim my light. You can't awucimeki owami umlilo. Injalo. And I'm humbling myself. Angiyiqhenye but ngikhuluma into ekhona abaziyo bayazi. Abangaziyo asebeke bandlula kulesi sandla, they know bazongifakazela. Right. Number 8, I said when you pray, you start to feeling the presence of God and your angels. You become telepathic. You hear everything about everyone. I mean, let me ask you guys, how are you going to have friends? Because you hear all the gossip, you hear everything. That is why after the spiritual ascension, uba noxolo. Uvela ubona abantu ubona ngathi sekuyingane la emqondweni. You know, not to intimidate them, but usukhishiwe ku-human way of thinking, human way of reasoning. That is why you are able to help your enemies. That is why you are able to help the people that you heard them gossiping. But say America, but you can hear them saying things. You know, when they come here, I laugh at them, and some of them feels very uncomfortable. Don't feel uncomfortable. Because once you become a healer, once you're a healer, any type of healing, you need to accept that your life will never be the same. Accept that you are not like everybody else, and your life will never be the same. Uyisidalwa, udalekile, uhandicapped in your own way. That is, you are special. You are a special child. So you need to accept that you're not the same. So ungabakwateli abantu abakuhlebayo, you need to forgive, you move on, you forgive. My blessings. Yo. Left, right, and center. Yabona. You become empathetic is the ability to feel pain on others. Because those are the things. You don't get selfish. Awubi selfish. Awuthathi ubizo lwabanye or igift yabanye because uxakwe ngeyakho nawe. I think you guys are going to resonate. I think it's going to make, I hope it's going to make sense to those that are called in the praying and prophetic category. Okay? Awavuthe umkhulu Langabi usezweni lase 4 Ways. Umkhulu Langabi behlala eKempton Park, she moved to 4 Ways. Don't get confused, right? If you want booking, I do authentic readings, whether it's online, whether kusethempelini enkundleni yakithi, nalokho kulungile. Mawufuna ukuza enkonzweni ungeza ngama Sundays, it starts at 10:30 to 12 o'clock. Inkonzo yami yinsebenzo. Sidlala insebenzo, ngiyaphilisa abantu, uze nabantu abagulayo. Mawunabantu abagulayo uze nabo, ngizokwenzela imihlola bayophuma la kimi bepholile. Ngiyaphilisa. Na uyabona, nami ngangigula. Nami ngangike ngahamba indlela ezibhlungu ngingazazi. Kodwa manje ngoba sengitholile indlela, ngiyaphilisa. All right, let's meet tomorrow enkonzweni Flames of Christ. Siyobe sigeza inyawo, sigeza izandla, sicela ukuthi konke esikubamba ngezandla zethu sicela kwenzeke kunganyamalali. ngoba isandla sedarkness siyohlala sikhona, lokho angeke sikubalekele. That is why sakhethwa. Amen. Awavuthe.